Hello, this is Liberate from Hate, 333 Sunday series, and I'm Dawn, and today we are going to talk about this, what can we take from this time in history. Last week we talked about fear and how to deal with fear and how we can either exacerbate it and build more of it or take the air out of it and diminish it. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about stillness, the opportunity for stillness. And we want to think about this time as a forced stillness, which is really what it is. We think that it's a forced separation because of the perceived need to separate. But what it really is it's forcing us to focus on our stillness and our beingness instead of all the doingness, all of the business and all of the go, 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 do. Make no mistake, this period of time is about stillness and looking inward. Without that stillness, we would still be going off and doing our things and going and traveling and business and money and all of that kind of stuff. So what this really is doing for us is allowing us an opportunity of silence, of stillness, and to hear our inner voices of our higher selves and reconnect with that our best and highest selves. This higher self loves to spend time in nature, or spend time with animals, with time in Mother Nature with their family. It's giving us more of an opportunity to see and hear people for who they are, and not just for what they can do and what they represent in the doing world. It's an opportunity for balance, work versus living, stress versus joy, health and family and community versus money and business, competing and acquiring. All of this has been out of balance. We've been so out of balance with the work, with the stress, with the focus on the money and the business and the competing and the acquiring. And now we're being forced to implement a balance. And that's a wonderful thing. Not necessarily because of the reasons why, but as the saying goes, listen to the whispers before you have to deal with the yelling and screaming. And that's what we're dealing with now, is the yelling and the screaming. And so what we're allowing is this time to go inward, to look at the stillness, look at our beingness, and take a look. How is our health? How is our physical health? How is our mental health? How is our emotional health? How is our connectedness in our relationships with our family and friends and pets and the earth and spirit and heart? We are still doing things at home, but we're being more mindful and we're considering them with less pressures and focus on the results and the end doing, or the end result of doing. What is the difference between doing and being? Well, being determines the groundedness and the place from which our acts are growing and are outwardly projecting. So think of it like a seed. If a seed isn't grounded into the earth, given lots of great soil, watering, nurturing, sunlight, then that seed won't grow. That seed will either be strewn about or it will simply not grow. And so that seed must be grounded very firmly and in a nurturing environment in order for it to grow and grow strong and grow straight. And that's what our beingness is. Our beingness is the ability to be grounded and be in a place from which then our acts then follow and will be healthy and strong and productive. So our beingness, which I'll refer to as our consciousness state, if it's out of balance, it can get muddied. It can get into a service to self, mostly in our egos. And then our actions, our doingness, will reflect that state. We'll be more fearful, we'll be more greedy, we'll be more angry, we'll be more envious, we'll be more ill-willed in our actions. Conversely, if our beingness is well cared for, is nurtured, is grounded, is watering, get good food and sun like a good seed needs, we will then be in our best consciousness state, our best grounded place from which we then can grow and act. And our acts and our actions will be based in that kind of nurturing beingness. And we will be more trusting and loving and compassionate and fearless without recklessness, with sturdiness and courage, without jealousy, without greed, without hoarding, without trying to outdo others, and being in a service to all, trust and compassion. So where has your consciousness state been? Where is your consciousness state now? What have your thoughts and emotions and actions reflected? What kind of consciousness state? What kind of groundedness or not groundedness? This is an opportunity to reflect on that and see how different it feels to withdraw and focus on our beingness instead of our doingness, to see the health of what is there internally. Because only from a healthy internal place can we grow a healthy external place in our doingness. So in this conversation of being versus doing, I want to talk a little bit about the feminine aspect, the feminine and the masculine aspect of energies. This is not about gender of human beings. This is about energy of the female and the masculine perspective. Think of a battery. A battery has two sides. It has a female side and a male side. And you have to have them both functioning and both connected properly in order for it to have its intended and highest energetic impact. You have that with jumper cables, with all kinds of energetic tools and housing mechanisms. Just like our body, it has to have both the female and the masculine, and they have to both be functioning at their optimum in order for us to have optimum output. So that's what this is all about too. We're seeing the impact of this stillness and refrain from our masculine doing, feminine being, that our feminine energies in the world are out of balance. They have not been allowed to be at an equal position with our doingness. We haven't taken the time in our beingness. We haven't taken the time to have this rest in this moment of reflection and then doing, and then be able to receive, and then have a moment of reflection and groundedness, and then use that as the strength for our then doing and projecting and going outward. So again, we talked last time about the figure 8 with the fear. It works the same way. This is the outwardly doing. This is the inwardly being. This is the receiving. This is the giving. This is the masculine. This is the feminine. This is manifestation. This is attraction. So we have this. This is liberation. Whoops. There we go. So you have to have this interplay, this figure 8. Doing, manifesting, receiving, feminine, attracting, and all of this. This is how all of this works in balance. And it is intended and must work in balance. Because if you think of the figure 8, if one side is out of balance, then you don't have a figure 8 anymore. You have this lopsided figure that can't stand on itself and can't balance itself. So that's what we're here to do, is take a look and understand and experience the importance of the feminine, the groundedness, the inward, the beingness, and focus on where that health is from a beingness standpoint, so that we can then be more healthy, more productive on our outward doingness. So think of an example, just a everyday garden variety day example. Let's just talk about, say, maybe now it's a good time to think about is resumes, sending out resumes, looking for jobs. So even everything that we do has this feminine, masculine balance to it. So when you are preparing a resume, you're sitting with the internal aspect of what do you want? How do you want to represent yourself? Creating your roots that you then want to project. Well, that's the feminine. So you're creating, you're internalizing, you're rooting, you're organizing. That's the feminine. Then the masculine is you send out the resumes, you let them go. Then you have to have the feminine, which is you have to allow that to work and then allow the receiving part. Then maybe after some time of receipt and of letting time pass and allowing, you then maybe follow up, give it a little help with some more follow up. That's the masculine. Then you've got to allow space for that then to grow and root and receive the fruits of that. So if, for example, you were out of balance and you sent out your resume and you didn't give people time to take a look, and you were constantly calling every day, hey, you know, this is so-and-so, I'm calling about this, and, you know, how about if I just show up on Monday and, you know, I can do everything and all of that, that's too much masculine. That's too much pushing. That's too much doing. That takes people back. They don't want that. Allow, you've got to allow, then you've got to then receive, because you can't receive and attract unless you are allowing that to happen, which means you've got to release your foot on the gas pedal with the masculine, with the pushing. And so that's where you have this balance, but you can't sit on the couch either, right? That would be an imbalance of the feminine. You've got to have a balance of being. And it's but they've got to start with the being, the feminine, the being, the receiving, the groundedness, the yin. That's where it begins. It has to begin here, because that's the place from which it grows and it expands and it exerts and it is outwardly growing. So this is what we've been out of balance with. And when we're out of balance, we are most likely usually in a service to self, egoic mindset that, again, I mentioned was fearful and envious and angry and competition, and all of this stuff, and the values that we have are about money and business and competing and acquiring and all of that. That's an imbalanced, unattended to, unnurtured beingness that then produces that kind of imbalanced and dysfunctional and destructive, less constructive doingness. So what I'd like to do is I'd like for us to experience a brief meditation for groundedness and beingness, to find your true and best consciousness state, your own inner best self. And from there, then you want to have the actions of doing and growing and germinating. And so as an example, I'd like to show you how effective and how much difference it makes when our beingness is in our best and highest nurtured self versus not. I'd like for you to first start off and think about something that recently made you sad or angry. And notice all of the thoughts that you have about that, all of the emotions that come up about that. And just think about that for a moment. And now notice how this feels in your body. Notice how it feels in your jaw. Notice how it feels in your forehead. Notice how it feels in your neck, in your shoulders, in your breath. How is your breathing? In your gut, in your back. Are your hands clenched? Notice how this feels in your body with these thoughts and emotions of sadness or anger. Now I want you to go in your mind's eye, close your eyes, and imagine your favorite place in nature. And imagine that you are there right now. See all the sights that are there. Hear all the sounds that are there. Notice what foliage is there, the trees, the plants, the flowers. Imagine you're reaching out and touching one right now and feel what it feels like. What do you hear? Do you hear any animals? Any birds? Do you see them? What does the air smell like? How does it feel against your skin? Is the breeze blowing? Is the sun out? How does it feel? Is there water anywhere around, and can you see it or can you hear it? Feel how much love you have for this place. Feel how much love you have for Mother Nature and Mother Earth for giving you this place that gives you so much joy and peace. Notice the ground that you're walking on. How does it feel on your bare feet? Are you walking on sand or dirt or grass or water or stone? Feel how that feels on your feet. Now imagine roots growing down from your feet into the earth, connecting you deeply into Mother Earth. And see your roots growing down further and deeper and deeper and deeper until they get to the middle of the earth and your roots wrap solidly around the core of Mother Earth, rooting you intimately with Mother Earth. Feel how much love you have and gratitude and joy you have for Mother Earth and this beautiful place. Now imagine Mother Earth feeling your love, expresses her appreciation and gratitude for you as her perfect child, connected deeply to her, rooted into her. And she sends love and beautiful bright white light into your roots and all the way up into your body, up your legs, into your hips, into your midsection, into your chest, your shoulders, and down your arms and out your fingertips, and up your neck and in your head, and overflows out the top of your head like a fountain overflowing. How much love you have for Mother Earth, and she feels for you. Go running through your body. This is the mass, the feminine. This is the feminine energies coming from the rootedness of you and your being. Now imagine the Father and the Son coming down into the top of your head. How much you love the sun, how much you love growth an expansion, and the Father. And the Father and the masculine feel so much love for you, his perfect child. And you see the same love that you felt and saw from the Mother Earth coming down into the top of your head. And imagine it coiling together with the Mother feminine energy of love as it moves down your body, from your head down your shoulders and your arms and out your fingertips, and down your chest and belly and hips and legs and feet, meeting with the Mother energy. And see this masculine and feminine energies coiling together in perfect harmony in your body as you feel the love from the Mother and the Father, with you, the perfect child, as their expression, and house for all that love. See how the feminine and the masculine swirl together perfectly harmonized. And just relish in that love you have for the Mother and the Father, and feeling that love for you. Feel how much joy, gratitude, love that you have. Now imagine breathing in that light through your mouth and nose, breathing it in. And as you exhale, imagine pushing it out through your heart and surrounding yourself with this beautiful light filled with love and joy, surrounding yourself like a cocoon. You breathe it in, you breathe it out through your heart and surround yourself with the love and light of joy and gratitude and love. Keep doing that for a moment, breathing it in, pushing it out through your heart and surrounding yourself, cocooned in it. Feeling the love, expressing the love for Mother Earth, for Father Son, the Mother, the Father, the masculine, the feminine, perfectly harmonized within you. Now for a moment, think back to that thing that made you sad or angry that you started thinking about. And now, how does it seem? What message is your higher self telling you about that? In this state, how would you respond to that circumstance? Ask your higher self anything else it wants to tell you. And notice how this now feels in your body. How does your forehead feel? Your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your breathing, your belly, your back, your hands. How does this consciousness state feel to you in the body? Notice how it differs from the way and where you started. You will likely find that this consciousness state that we just finished after the meditation will have a much calmer, more peaceful, more compassionate less stress, less angry, less sad perspective on the circumstances. And it is from that place that you would then behave and act. And how much different in productivity, in constructivity, in function versus dysfunction would your actions and behaviors be in this state versus the state that you may have started the meditation with. This is what Mother Earth and the feminine energies are trying to teach us right now. We must focus on the beingness and what consciousness state and where is our beingness rooted or not rooted as a place from which we then act. So much we must remember it starts with the feminine and then we act and give the masculine. And if our place of centeredness, beingness, groundedness, feminine energy place is not rooted well, not nurtured well, not attended to well, then we cannot possibly act from a place that is productive. So as we are seeing around the world right now with our doingness constricted and severely restricted, we're seeing how much more the feminine and the Mother Earth has been able to regenerate and rejuvenate. We in Mother Earth are extraordinarily powerful in our rejuvenation and regeneration powers and capabilities, as long as we allow it space to do that, which is the beingness, the release of all the doingness, the relaxing, the peace, the inner, the allowing and the receiving. That's the feminine. We need to have that in order to be productive. We're seeing pollution being cleared up. We're seeing waters being cleared up. We're seeing animals come back. We're seeing all kinds of productive work or productive effects of being in a different place and relaxing all of the doingness. So if you have any questions, I would be delighted to take them. You can sign on to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, anything that, any place that you see this video, would love to take your questions. Unfortunately, our Facebook Live pooped out on us again, so I've got to figure out why this Facebook Live, why our connections are not allowing an uninterrupted live session. So we'll continue to work on that. And thank you for watching this video, and hopefully you can join us on some of our other activities. Please take a look at our Liberate from Hate, Facebook page, our Instagram page, our web page. We also have a blog, which we'll start being more active on as well, and our YouTube channel. So all kinds of ways to connect with us. And if you're interested in any t-shirts, we certainly sell those on our website as well. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday for our Sunday 333 series every Sunday. So have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and respond and nurture your beingness and your feminine energies. Men, women, everybody. We all have them, just like batteries and jumper cables. You gotta have two sides in order to be fully functioning and at the best, most powerful and productive place in order to then be the masculine doing. So thanks very much.